Yes.
So, we're starting a new improved podcast for the forced viewing.
We hope.
No, actually, I'm planning on posting this in a day or two.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
Try to get it up as fast as possible. Okay. Why am I not surprised with him?
Yeah.
I'm
getting it up right now.
I'm the Drudgeon, and I'm here with...
John Bruni, author of Dawn of Frankenstein.
And
Zeb Carter.
Editor of...
the editor and presenter of Bomb-Ass Stories.
Holy shit!
Twister
Where did this cat
Tales
come
of
from?
Oz. Oh, hi.
And hi Fuzzy, and our cat's here.
Not at all.
Nice asshole, cat.
He's like, I know it, babe.
This is my house, motherfucker. Okay, Kitty loves you. After
After you
hissing
hissed
at you.
it earlier.
I think he was just protecting, Jari.
I thought I was going to smother her.
I don't know. So on to... Oh, God, he's like, nope, this is my place now. Laying down right in front of Seb. Oh, now he's going to start... Jesus Christ.
Fucking Garfield.
And now he will present.
Actually, Jory's aunt from Austria consistently calls him Garfield.
Wow.
Fat orange cat.
He is. Do you feed him lasagna? And does he hate Mondays?
Actually, he hates Mondays. But I haven't tried to feed him lasagna yet.
Aw.
Okay, on with what we were actually supposed to be doing.
With the show.
We're starting a new podcast, which I'd like to continue every other week. This time around, we we actually just watched less than a half hour ago The Fly, the original Fly, from 1957.
Was it?
58?
From the late 1950s.
It's got Vincent Price, alright?
Hold on. Talk while I'm
We will
away.
talk. It's got Vincent Price in it, and he is the brother of a scientist by the name of Andre, who has created teleporter research
Hold on.
for Star Trek.
Bruni was completely wrong. It was 1958. No,
I said 58, you fucker. Sorry, Kitty. Hey, don't investigate that. That's where we're recording.
There you go.
And
And now he is one of our presenters tonight. He has taken his chair.
No. Okay, go on, Bruni. Continue.
Yes, Andre created the teleporter science for Star Trek, but he hasn't perfected it just yet. When he transports something with writing on it, it's backwards when it comes out the other end. And when it comes out the other end, when he teleports himself, well, that's a different story. Unfortunately for him, there was a fly in his machine when he teleported, which has never happened to James T. Kirk or Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy, if I may be so clear.
I don't think flies exist in Star Trek.
They probably do, but...
I wonder what would happen if you teleported with a tribble. Will we have a bunch of little Kirks running around?
That's like you get chest hair in the future.
Ah.
It adds machismo.
If you notice, though, not a lot of the Star Trek guys had hairy chests. Even James T. Kirk himself had a baby soft bottom chest.
Yeah, but that's because they didn't
you're one of
transport with tribbles. Which is why the episode is The Trouble with Tribbles.
I think you're one of the only people that called his chest that.
Yes,
Baby
I'm proud
soft.
of it. Baby soft buttocks.
Yeah. Okay, so on with what we actually watched.
Yes.
No more Star Trek talk.
We'll see about
that. The original version of The Fly.
Okay, so while we were watching, there was something that came really apparent to all of us, and I think it hit really close to home with Zeb specifically.
I wonder why.
So basically what happens is the beginning is that this worker comes in on this woman crushing someone under a press, and she runs away. So basically she calls her brother-in-law, says, "I killed your brother." He says, "Oh no." He calls the cops.
Well, first, he thought it was a joke.
Oh, yeah,
He's like, I don't have time for this.
It's
almost 11 o'clock at night. Silly woman.
So he doesn't call the police, actually. He calls an inspector who's at a
men's club.
At a men's club, playing chess. And he said, "Fine, I'll meet you, blah, blah, blah." he goes there and they're talking to her. She has said numerous times, I murdered him, I killed him.
I can't explain why.
Yeah.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Yes. So instead of arresting her or anything, the cop sits down with her and has a nice cup of tea, and she gets to nice and calmly talk, and then, okay, you get to stay here the night. Just don't go anywhere. So this is really hitting close to Zeb. And Zeb said something very... that made a whole lot of sense, and I think hits on numerous levels about what is really important with this movie.
There is a fuck ton
Of?
like, I'm still in shock slightly. There is rampant white privilege in this movie. I don't even want to be that guy right now. And for those of you who don't know or can't tell by the fact that my dick touches my kneecaps, I'm a black guy. But the thing that fucking kills me is, first of all, this isn't like she's suspected of murder. This guy walks in on her standing there, and she doesn't run away like a normal person who's committed a crime. She, like, sidesteps out of the room like someone who cut a huge fart and then didn't want to be there anymore. She literally sidesteps out of the room and walks away.
Well, she kind of goes, ah!
But, like, not even quickly. Like, if he reached over, he probably could have grabbed it.
Please,
But
let's
he's
call him
standing there in
Pepe.
shock. After talking about the sexual practices of alley cats, which is fucking weird. Anyway, so after you are caught red-handed committing a murder,
And confessed.
you then call the brother of your victim and confess this murder. And he in turn calls an inspector that he knows to come and investigate this supposed murder. And she admits this murder again in front of a room full of people. And they're like, well, you probably need... And I'm sorry, after this, there's a doctor who comes in because she's obviously hysterical. And even he's like, I can't believe she did this. I delivered that young woman. And she's standing in front of them like, oh yeah, I killed him. I killed that motherfucker for sure. And I'm just like, god damn. And then they're like, you know, you're confused and also
You're
very Caucasian. You just sit here and think about what you've done, and we'll give you a 24-hour nurse.
Hold on. Which, by the way, they've made it perfectly clear that pretty much they have more money than they know what to do with. So she is definitely not a flight risk.
Of course.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, she could buy and sell anyone on the police force they post there. But over the course of, like, the next 3 to 5 days, she's just left at home hanging the fuck out, getting maid service and shit.
No
And
handcuffs.
choosing, not handcuffed, not
Never
like,
got handcuffed at all.
at all. Not even when she was being taken away at the very end of the movie is she being handcuffed. But this whole thing is blowing my mind because I'm like, in anywhere else, she should have been just, oh god. I was fucking, I'm still speechless. And it's not even gross incompetence, this is super privilege.
Super white privilege.
This isn't white privilege. This is like paper white privilege.
Now, even worse than that, when they go into the basement to look around for like, at her husband's effects, they find that this motherfucker's got a $200,000, which back then, I'm sure was somewhere in the neighborhood of like a $6 to $7 million lab.
Laboratory,
Just recreationally in his fucking basement. And what is he doing down there? Not tinkering with, you know, like, making crazy hair dye or, you know, fucking finding what the next flavor of root beer will be. This dude is down here fucking messing with matter transference.
Well, hold on. First they said he was working for the Air Ministry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they said, yeah, no, they did. They said he was working on something for the Air Ministry.
Yes.
Which I don't think was teleportation.
Well, technically, there are flies involved. They fly. It's the Air Ministry.
Not buying it.
Keep drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And even after all this, like, his brother is still in a state of disbelief because his brother, ironically, wouldn't hurt a fly. They value human life and everything else.
But why else is Vincent Price's character so adamantly defending this woman?
Oh, because he wants to fuck his sister-in-law so bad. That shit is apparent in every scene they have. Where she's like, oh, I'm just going to say something offhandedly crazy. And he's like, oh, you. And it's like, what the fuck? What am I watching?
Well, you got an extremely effeminate Vincent Price, who's not gay.
He is not! He has a wife in real life! Had a wife in real life.
Totally talking about how much he wants this woman. I believe it.
And it's like, I will say the desperation comes through as being very genuine in the way he's acting toward her, but like the blind stupidity, and also the fact that, she murdered your fucking brother, just seemed to have no bearing on any of this. If this was just a bunch of people, like, this is like the worst British comedy ever.
French.
Like, no one, they are French, but
Except
no one seems to have any feelings about anything that's happened. Until, by the way, a fly enters the frame and this chick fucking loses it.
Yeah.
And doesn't lose it to kill the fly. She's just super frantic to find out if it's a fly with a white head or not, which of course comes up way later.
Again, don't forget, a more into the white privilege.
Yes.
The only important fly is the one that's white.
Yes.
The black ones you can kill.
Yeah?
Yes. She actually shakes the shit out of her son for catching nothing but black flies.
It's true.
Black flies matter. What have I said?
Oh, God.
Have you been waiting a long time to say that one, or is this...
I think that was
That just
seriously
occurred to me.
off.
It was.
That's got to stay.
I probably should not have said that.
You're one of the good ones.
I'm apparently not, though. Damn.
I repeat, everything is going to be alt-right. So, after all, like, it's not even just the white privilege. Like, the amount of privilege that this woman is afforded, considering she's a murderess.
And
a self-confessed murder.
Yeah, see, it's not even like the whole thing, well, there's no evidence, there's nothing to support it. It's like, there's billion times amount of evidence, and she's completely confessed to it, and everyone knows she did it, and it's not like, if there was, like, a mound of question
would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, no, everyone kind of knows it, and everyone's okay with it, it seems.
Hashtag first world problems.
This isn't even first world now.
And it's not even like this is super racist, because there's not a black person in this film anywhere. But the nurse that she has and the help, she treats these people like shit. Like, they're fucking invisible. She's like, oh, well, these flies, like, close the window because of flies, and we've got to catch them. And so the maid kills a fly, and she turns around and automatically is like, you idiot! You imbecile! And it's like, fuck! This chick is getting yelled at for killing a housefly, and obviously she's like, what is your problem? Like, the look on her face is fucking classic.
No,
but before this, when her husband has been transformed.
Well, hold on. So what happened? We don't know exactly what happens in the beginning because she shows up and he has a cloth over his head and one hand in his pocket the whole time, and he's not able. No, and he's not able to talk, so he's typing everything. Blah blah blah. It is finally revealed.
Drawing on his chalkboard.
Well, yeah.
With great cursive at first, until the fly arm starts fighting with him.
So it turns out, yeah, his head and his left hand have been turned into fly bits. So he asks his wife, demands from his wife, he wants milk with rum.
In it. Yes.
With rum. So she runs upstairs, opens the fridge, takes out the milk, and I don't know what it is, falls all over the floor. She pours it into a bowl, which makes a bit of a mess. Then she grabs her rum, pours that.
You should say that, first of all, we all joked, leave it for the maid.
That's true. So she drops the whole container of food.
A bunch of milk all over the floor.
A bunch of milk all over the floor and counter.
And the maid comes in and goes, oh my god, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, huh, 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 and leaves. And the maid's like, Ah, crap. It has to start picking it up.
Yeah.
She didn't even say, can you please clean up after me? I'm having trouble.
Like I said,
no.
the help is treated like shit in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Being treated like shit from a murderer.
Exactly, like, from someone who's like, this is the one person that you should be able to just not have to take shit from.
Yeah.
And by the way, the maid was in her bedroom. We assume she was asleep. She comes down in her nightgown. She is not on the clock.
That's true.
She's always on the clock.
Damn help.
If he wants a midnight brandy, then goddammit, she better get up and make one.
Shut up and make me a sandwich.
I want my hot toddy.
Yeah, so he tried... His first experiment with a live animal he did with the house cat. So
Yes, they're pets.
He takes the cat and a bowl of milk, puts it into the transporter, turns it on, and goes over. The bowl of milk goes through, but the cat doesn't. He's like, what's the cat's name?
Oh, fuck.
Like Galileo or
No, it wasn't that. It was
Copernicus or something.
It began with an R, I think.
Whatever. And he's calling its name, and all of a sudden you hear just, like, out of nowhere,
This disembodied meow.
it's like, holy shit.
Which we never hear again.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's with that?
And for him
What
to be
happened?
super compassionate, it comes up later when he's like, well, my first experiment with the live subject was our poor cat. And his kid has been looking for this cat for days. So his
Well,
wife
hold on.
is like,
Don't forget the wife gets mad for like 2 minutes.
2 seconds.
Well, okay, like 2 seconds, and then she's like, oh, but you transported the guinea pig.
I'm so
Yay,
proud of you.
new
I'm great
pet.
to have you as a husband.
What happened to the guinea pig?
nobody cares. He released it into the wild after that, I'm sure.
But who did?
No, actually, considering her scorched earth policy toward all the experiments, I'm pretty sure she took a
She had
hammer
to
to
kill
it,
it.
Freddy Krueger style.
Yeah, it's quite possible.
So, this shit, like, oh god, like, just...
Okay, again, as much as I know people love Vincent Price, he's again just so not believable in his role. Like, I'm sorry, my brother just got killed. Oh.
You shut your fucking mouth about Vincent Price, or I will stuff it with my cock.
We were gonna do that anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, my brother died. Oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, like,
Say, what's his wife doing now?
I'm sure that this sounds like this is the fucking worst movie ever.
Wow.
But, you know, it's no Osambi, don't get me wrong.
It's no Beast of Yucca Flats.
Right.
It's no Deadliest Gender?
Oh, God.
You guys
So-
still need to watch that.
So
that
I think I've seen like half of it. I haven't finished it. Anyway, the point is that this movie is entertaining as shit, but looking at this as an actual film, like a cinematic air quotes achievement, these are some fucked up people. Like, they are just bastards.
It's not even fucked up, they're just completely not believable.
Well, here's,
Like, if they were assholes, that would be a different story. But they're just not believable people. And yes, it's a movie, I get it, about a person being partially transformed into a fucking fly. I get that that's just all fantasy. But yeah, it's done, it can be done, just they're not believable people.
there's something that needs to be said. I think I'm the only one in the room who actually read the story that this is based on. This really does work very well.
I totally read the... No, I didn't.
Of course you didn't. But it very much works as a short story. The short story is fucking fabulous. It's great. It works very well.
Kind of like
Mystery.
Stephen King with The Lawnmower Man. But
Yeah,
it's a
it's-
2-page short story and then an hour and a half
It is.
long movie.
It is. The two aren't even comparable.
Exactly my point.
You know it as well.
But I will say this about the movie: the effect of the fly head is actually pretty decent, and I think that all depends on the little twitch
Yeah.
that the head does.
No, actually, that's one thing I was going to say is the
makeup effects are
out of
amazing.
everything that like failed in this movie, one of the best things was actually the older effects. But you didn't have a lot. You had his hand and his head, and then the kind of work kind of didn't after, where it's him as a fly and the spider. That was a bit more sketchy, but it still worked.
Yeah.
You know, like the acting in everything was laughable. But when you get to the effects, it's like, okay, this actually kind of can work. But it...
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, and speaking of, like, the things that work in this movie, the effects, both special and practical, very well done. I had no problem with that at all.
Yeah.
The inspector is pretty consistent. Had no problem with that dude. The wife just... Like, this is back before people could diagnose things like being bipolar, but for fuck's sake, like, this chick switches...
Bipolar? You're just a bitch.
So, yeah, like that... Her acting is very all over the place.
Yeah.
This poor kid is basically verbally chastised and abused at every fucking turn. And they keep calling him Philippe.
But that's because it's his name.
I mean, yes, that's his name. But, like, the thing is, they're supposed to be French, and they all have French names, but they are American as shit in their delivery and everything.
Well, they are.
They don't even say his name like a Frenchman. It's like Philippe.
Oh, Philippe.
Hey, that would be like, honestly, if I were playing a Mexican and I'm like, hey, Jose, what's up?
Jose. Please, Jose.
Jose. And the Pussycats. The main thing is that all of this just kind of builds to a point where there's the big reveal that he's not wrong, that she wasn't wrong and she wasn't lying. There really is like an actual fly man and man fly transference. But the thing that kills me is that they finally find a half human, half fly trapped in the spider web.
Help me!
And he picks up a huge rock and kills it and the spider. You couldn't just flick the spider with your hand, or...
It was his last fucking wish to have this fly destroyed. I stand by that.
Actually, I think it was more along the lines of, I mean, like, you hear this fantastical story and everything, you're like, okay, you're fucking crazy, lady. And then you actually see this for the first time, you're going to be in shock going, no. Wait, no. And then if you notice, he hits it right as the spider bites into him.
Yes, but they waited for the spider to come over.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's more the whole actual, yes, I'm defending it. It was the whole shock of, oh my god, am I really seeing this? Like, remember how fast she got over the fact that her husband had a fly head?
Yes.
Like, she got over that really fucking fast.
She had no choice.
Well, go make a sandwich.
True.
So I think that's kind of what it was. That whole scene took like 10 seconds. If you really think about it.
Yeah, but again, back to the privilege. After they kill this thing, him and the inspector are plotting how to get this woman off of a murder charge and not have her go to a loony bin. He's like, oh, I'm the one who set the machine, and he could have had time to set the machine and then kill himself. And
she killed the thing, you killed the thing?
Well, that's the other thing I found really stupid. Is she's like, oh, it was a thing. I killed it. It's okay to kill a thing, right? And the inspector's like, yeah, sure. And it's like, but wait, this guy had human...
write things out. He was knocking and shit.
He had human intelligence. So he wasn't necessarily a thing. And the inspector didn't kill the human fly. The spider bit into him. He was pretty much already dead. So no.
Semantics.
Well...
It sounds like you're Vincent Price talking to the inspector, man.
Well, I am. Because you saw this spider bit right into him, and then he hit it with the rock.
But the thing was still screaming, so it may have lived.
No.
Well, a spider has to suck the juices out.
Yeah.
So it's just a bite. He didn't start sucking the juices out. He was not desiccated.
And technically, at the same time, though, a spider needs to live. So we'd be taking away the spider's food source.
Oh my god, we took away this spider's
Trust me,
life.
that kid can trap another 100 fucking flies in a day and release all of them into that web to replace the one human.
But then that would be overpopulation.
Yeah, they can populate these nuts. my cumulative opinion.
All of you?
God, there was just so much in this movie that is based around the fact that they are rich and can give. Like, they have a deficit of fucks. For every dollar they have, it's one less fuck they've got. Which explains exactly how they have, like, negative 279,000 fucks to give. About the help, about their kids, about their money, about murder, about
But
any fucking thing.
I will say this: they at least know how to treat that boy to some alcohol.
That is
Very true.
Forgot. And when they were at the table, Vincent Price pours alcohol into a glass and puts a little bit of water in there and gives it to the kid. And the kid's like, "This is good."
It is. It's not Jesus juice. I want to reiterate that. Not Jesus juice.
And that's another thing. Like, Vincent Price is lying his ass off. First, to get this woman to confess to what happened, he lies and said he found the fly. Which
he wants to fuck her. Of course he's going to lie to her.
She was going bonkers trying to find the fly with a white head. And he said, "Oh yeah, I totally have it. It's in my desk drawer."
Yeah, so that happens. But after that, she's about to get carted away to the loony bin, and the kid comes home, and she's like, "Don't let my son see me like this. Hysterical and bitchy like he does every other day." Be that as it may, he goes down there and he's like, we have to leave. We have to go to the movies. And even the kid knows this is bullshit, because he's like, "They don't open till noon." He's like, "Then we'll go at noon." He's like, "Then let's go for a walk." And he's like, "Is the ambulance for mommy?" He's like, "Yeah." "Is she gonna be fine?" "Yeah, of course." Knowing full well they're taking her away never to be fucking seen again.
Yeah.
And after that, he's like, "Where's Dad?" "Oh, he'll be home eventually."
I guess.
He's wherever the fuck your cat is. Stop asking questions, kid. And
Is something in your eye?
yes,
What the hell are you doing?
there is something in my
He's like raping his own eye.
It's the log in his eye. From the Bible.
Do you need help?
Nah, I got it. So well lubricated
Okay.
now.
Anything you want to add before we get to our final bits?
No. Final bits.
Why don't we go around and say 2 things we liked about it? Specific things.
Yes.
Don't be like, "Well, I liked
Vincent Price's accent.
Well, okay, hold on. So we'll begin with you, Mr. Bruni.
Yes.
Just give one, and then we'll go around and
One thing and then we go around?
yeah, and then we'll do another one, and then we'll do 2 things we dislike as well.
Okay, what I like about the movie. I thoroughly enjoy Vincent Price's constant need to fuck his sister-in-law. He is almost single-minded about it. Everything else is like, my brother died, whatever. I mean, but I gotta fuck this woman so badly. I got the fly in my desk drawer. I can't show it to you, but I got it. Just tell me about what happened so I can, fuck you later.
Okay, Zeb, one thing you liked?
One thing that I did like is, believe it or not, the performance from the kid playing Philippe.
Really?
He was actually a believable everyday kid. He wasn't this
was an
precocious,
asshole.
over-intelligent kid. He actually emoted well when, he was chastised or poked or prodded. I'd say for a child actor, especially during this era, he did a pretty good job. That kid was going places.
Okay.
And those places were apparently to war, to die. But before that, he had a promising future.
Vietnam.
I liked the effects, and when I say the effects, I'm going to go with the press. It was actually impressive to see the amount of blood and everything on the press itself.
It was very unpopular in the day.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. Along the lines with the press, I love how at the end, the head gets crushed, it didn't get the arm, and she didn't put the arm a second time. Again, with the whole press, I like the nice touches they used with that.
Alright, going back to the effects and to what I said earlier about the fly head, I really enjoyed the fly head with a little twitch thing at the front with the antennae. Just sort of... Because, ordinarily you just put a rubber mask on the fucking guy, but this looked really, really convincing to me.
I will agree. Something else for me that kind of stood out in a positive way is that while all of this is going down, all of these crazy events, even though the husband was more of kind of an avoidant asshole, the relationship between the two of them seemed genuine. Like, he really did seem to give a shit about his wife when he wasn't, jerking off to all of his science equipment. So, out of all the weird performances in this movie, I think them as a couple worked exceptionally well. like the way that he was kind of doodling during the ballet, and she just kind of took his hand and he's like, "Oh, I forgot we're supposed to be having quality time." You're lucky I didn't slap you in front of all these fucking people.
'Cause you're a woman.
Damn straight. So yeah, the relationship between them seemed very genuine. I actually enjoyed seeing their chemistry, which is something that really wasn't big in film at that time. Like,
it was.
You can have a wife, but you don't need to be loving toward your wife, right?
Now let's go to our separate beds.
Exactly.
I did love in that scene as well. As they start like cuddling up, the guy sitting behind him couldn't see, and he had to try to keep
Yes.
the ballet.
Those moments of realism.
That was fun. Okay, the other thing I liked about it, though, I liked the end. Not necessarily the end where they are trying to plot their way to fix or get her off. Or I was waiting for that. But no, I liked how you saw the flyman, I don't know.
The guy fucked up and he paid the price.
Yeah, I like that. It was really nicely done, and it wasn't this whole message of, "Oh, you're playing God, you get what you deserve." Like, they kind of talked about it, but that wasn't the whole premise. And it came up, and it was this whole nice, like, help me. And it's like, oh shit, dude, he just got fucked. I like that.
Yeah, well, his other body over here is already done.
Yeah.
Might as well finish him off. I mean, fuck it.
Okay.
So we're now on to things we didn't like.
Yeah.
The first time, well, I should clarify, actually, we talked about this earlier. The first time I saw anything from the movie was when I was a kid. I saw Little Monsters, and I saw the help me scene in that movie.
Yeah.
And, that was pretty creepy in Little Monsters when I was a kid. I saw the whole movie just a couple of years later, and that was pretty good. I really enjoyed it as a child. I saw it again when I was in college, when I could think things through a bit better, and it was still pretty good. But now, as a man who's going to be 40 next year, it didn't age very well. A lot of the scenes that were supposed to be very serious were not, and I could not help but laugh at those scenes. And I guess I can't really blame the movie for that, because it's 60, 70 years old by now, but it did not age well.
Something I both loved and hated at the same time, but
how
more
dare you
hated.
mix that up?
Yeah,
we're living by certain rules here.
It was more hated than anything is that after this woman has gone through all this shit and has been released from jail and is playing, she didn't even get to the jail, so released from medical custody, I guess.
Released from talking.
Yes. They're playing croquet, so that automatically pissed me off. It's like, you just are the epitome of rich fuckdom. So, like, there's this going on, and Vincent Price has this moment where he's talking to Philippe about his father, and he tells him his dad died because he was doing this great work. He died because of his work, and that discovery is the greatest work that we can do, but he turned his attention away for a moment, and it cost him his life. And it's like,
I want to be an explorer too.
The thing that like fucks me up is that you can't say some shit like that to a kid who's lost their parent and not expect it to have the worst fucking consequences.
Philippe went on to become
this kid is going to be like a neurotic mess for the rest of his life, like super worried about fucking up or not being super due diligent.
Yeah.
Or if not that, then this kid is going to be a fucking mess for a completely different reason. And that reason is he is going to like fucking throw his life on the line and take as many risks as possible. Because, fuck it, YOLO, what's the worst that could happen? I get turned into a fly? I think not. So it's like, either way, this kid's life is ruined by this little speech from his uncle soon-to-be dad.
Uncle Dad.
So I like, that shit pissed me off really badly. Because it's like, this kid has already been through enough. And then you give this supposed to be poignant speech right before you plow his mother. And it's not even like I'm making that shit up. The way they walked off screen, it's like the kid is walking ahead and he grabs the woman around the fucking waist as they walk off.
I'm just waiting for Vincent Price to push the kid out of the way.
Kind of. Like, he may as well have just been fingering her as they walked away. This is super obvious. So yeah, that I hate it, because it could have been a perfect moment to say, you know, it wasn't your dad's fault. Like, sometimes discovery takes sacrifice or something, like, but you fucked it.
One thing I hated, unpopular opinion. Shut up, Bruni. Vincent Price still hasn't impressed me yet.
You fucker.
He's fine, but he's just like, oh look, I'm gonna go do this over here. Oh no, this is going on over here. I'm supposed to be emoting right now.
He was, goddammit!
I'm sad. I'm happy. I'm mad.
He never said any of that.
Does it help you at all to remember that he did portray the one emotion he should have been having through the whole film? Sexually frustrated.
Because he is so sexually frustrated not being able to come out of the closet.
No.
How dare you! That man was married, goddammit! He had a wife!
How many kids?
You know, children are a responsibility. Handle so easily.
No, again, I'm fine with Vincent Price, but like he's just okay. Like, I was hoping for more from him, and he still has yet to deliver. So, go on.
The second thing that I disliked about the movie, I would have to say, after giving it some serious thought, because I didn't know if there was a second thing that I hated about the movie. But I think there is one thing in particular. And it's the fact that, okay, so the hood comes off the guy.
Yeah.
There's the fly face right there.
Mm-hmm.
And she freaks out, and you see all these different faces of her, because the eye of the fly... Oh, God, I'm Dr. Seuss. The eye of the fly sees so many different versions of her.
The eye of the fly wanted to cry, but then it died. Duh.
So, but after that, she's like, "Oh God, we have to save your life. We have to make things right. We have to find the fly with your head and your arm. We have to make sure that you're going to be okay." And I really love you, and then he puts his hand on her face, and she's not freaked out. In my world, that would be followed up by fly-human sex, and that did not happen in this movie, and I'm so very disappointed. I know it was a repressed time. You couldn't really portray that, but you could at least suggest that he fucked her after he became the Fly Man.
True.
And I'm sure he still had a regular dick. I mean... It was the arm and the head. The dick was probably fine. I'm disappointed that didn't happen.
Something like that's a slight inconsistency. If the transfer was even, and we noticed when it was a man fly trapped in the web, that it had a human head, human upper torso,
and a fly
human
dick
arm.
Yeah.
So if the transfer was even though she crushed his head and his hand,
He
should have a fucking fly chest.
Yeah.
Like, they should take his shirt off and see some type of fly carapace.
Yeah.
All over that shit. That's what bugged me. She just threw it in there, what she could see. I'm like, no one bothered to take his fucking jacket off or just press his upper half.
No one wanted to see that.
Well, don't forget, they figured out how long he was dead by touching his body.
After they had to remove the press first to find out he had been dead for 30 minutes.
God damn it, I need a doctor here to check on the continuity of this fucking flick.
And if you know he was put into a press, and there was someone there when it happened, and you arrived 30 minutes later, what the fuck guesswork is there to do?
He's been dead for 30 minutes.
But other than that, like I said, man, the other thing that really fucking pissed me off is that all of this is the wife's fault. The wife is the fucking problem in this whole movie.
Just like in Breaking Bad, god damn!
Fucking Skylar. The point is that without her constantly being a pain in the ass, none of this would be possible. He was working on his shit. He was making progress at a reasonable rate, took her down there to show her his progress.
That goddamn woman should have stayed away from this. Should have just let a man do a man's work. God.
I think it's just that it was her. It's not even her gender, just her in specific. Ruined every fucking thing, because after that, he tries to transport the plate. It works, but everything's backwards. He tries it again with the newspaper, shit is fine, tries it with the guinea pig after this debacle with the cat. And she's like, you have to promise me you won't experiment on any more of these poor animals. And it's like, that's how experimentation works. Because when you experiment with humans and shit goes wrong, like, I don't know, crazy scenario where a dude gets turned into a fucking man-fly, it's a little harder to unfuck something like that than it is with a cat or a guinea pig or a rat or a fucking baboon. Like, literally anything that's not a man. And if she had stayed out of his fucking business and left the man alone, we wouldn't be having half fly, half human now.
But it was the man who paid the price, so maybe this is a feminist movie.
Or maybe it's an allegory for fucking Adam and Eve.
Or possibly, if you really think about it, maybe she wasn't crazy. Maybe there wasn't a man-fly. Maybe he was just... Because think about how long they didn't spend together. He was consistently had his head in the books. He was always doing the science stuff, and she brought it up all the time. I haven't seen you in like a month. What have you been doing? And even when they were together, he's like, oh, check it out. She's like, oh, but it's backwards. Ha, ha, ha. He just ignores her and goes back to his work.
He does.
Maybe she was just fed up with him and decided, you know what? I'm going to kill him. And I'm going to come up with... Because all the stuff was already destroyed. So there's no way to prove if that was a teleporter or not. So she kills him, comes up with this cockamamie story and says, well, worst comes to worst, I go to an insane asylum for a little bit, then I say I'm fine. But I know my brother-in-law has a thing for me. He'll do whatever he can to get me off. So if you think about it, the two parts that could prove it's a man-fly is gone. The science experiment that could prove that happened is gone. You know? And if they saw the fly, Vincent Price and the inspector saw the other fly...
Mass hysteria.
Possibly. They're like, no, she's a good girl, this can't be right. No. That's crazy. And they saw they're like, oh, wait a minute. No. I mean...
Damn it, Mulder.
Could be.
It could be that he was impressed upon. Or it could be he was trying to make a man-fly hybrid or turn a fly into a man, and that was his experiment this whole time.
France is close to Nazi Germany.
Yes. Okay, another thing I hated about it goes along the lines of continuity for me, but it's an actual thing. So, you put a plate in, and the plate transports. Okay, that's fine. You put a newspaper in, the newspaper transports. Okay, that's fine. Put a guinea pig in, and a guinea pig transports. Okay, maybe. You put a person in, and the person transports. But you put a person and a fly in there, they mix somehow. So why, when the guy went in with his coat on and his clothing, did his coat and his clothing not mix with him as well?
David Cronenberg pointed that out.
Exactly.
In his remake.
So it's one of those things, yes, you can't see him be naked, but he can say he was because this is what happens. Or something. That always bothered me. It was always one of those annoying things where it's like, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't work, and I get that you can't really show it, but you can say something.
It would have made more sense if the cat came through with a dish in its neck.
In the liquid was like fur.
Because the dish did transfer. Maybe the cat bonded with the actual china. Maybe there was a cat print.
That's what I'm saying, put like fur in the liquid, or like fur on the dish. That would have been cool, but that really bothers me. That's one thing that does get to me.
I do have one more thing that I want to bring up.
Ah, shit. Is it sexual?
Yes. I am so disappointed that Andre, in this film, did not have a medicine cabinet that he put his dick in. The end. Continue.
I thought it was the end.
For the Bruni.
For you. You can continue. I have said my piece. As I hold my peace.
Okay. We'll go around, give rating. Bruni?
I guess I have not said my piece.
See? Told you.
And I'm no longer holding my peace. 3 stars.
Okay.
It was very entertaining for me. Even the stupid shit, I still love it. Great story.
Ironically, I am also going to go 3 stars. I was entertained, even like just rediscovering some of the shit that I wouldn't have noticed when I saw this the first time because I was a kid. Like just looking at it and being able to kind of point out, not necessarily continuity errors, but errors of the era. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say it's 3 stars. It's still entertaining. It's just like an MST3K kind of entertaining for me.
I'd go 2. It's right down the middle. Like, this is a movie I would suggest to only some people. And I'd be very careful who I suggested it to. But, like, if you're with some friends and you just want to have a good time, definitely worth it. If you're sitting down looking for, like, a super serious movie that'll actually scare you or kind of, mess with you, definitely won't happen. Is it a product of its time? Without question. Does that make it good? No. Any final thoughts?
I want Andre's books.
He burned them.
No, not the experimental things. The actual books in his library. I was obsessing over them in the background. Sorry.
Okay.
This wasn't a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination.
Says the guy who just crammed it 3 stars.
Oh yes, but this was not a bad movie. But if you don't want to get pissed off at like some of the random shit that pops up, like women shouldn't talk, or
black people don't exist.
White people can get away with murder. Black people don't exist in this universe. Like,
the best unit. I mean,
and this is France.
Jeff, put the bottle down.
Oh god! Like then, yeah, you should probably avoid it.
I also have one more thing that I want to say.
I thought you shut up a while ago.
I know. I'm so disappointed in one thing.
Oh, one thing.
In the middle of that movie, your wife did not make me a sandwich, goddammit.
Oh man, that's true.
I tried.
Everyone has been sans sandwich.
Sorry.
Now I have said my piece.
She's too powerful of a woman. I can't defeat her. Sorry.
Not unless you want to end up in a fucking press.
Yeah, and I'd rather not.
There is no press here, man.
Well, maybe
You're
not.
Italian. God damn it.
No, I'm
Even
not.
though you don't want to admit it, you're Italian.
Lies. Please come back in 2 weeks, and we will have another episode posted.
Maybe.
No. We're
really gonna post this.
I want to start getting on the ball with this stuff.
All right.
I'm through being too lazy. I'll still be lazy, but not as lazy.
Alright.
So please come back in 2 weeks for episode 2. And, next time around, normally we'll be doing a movie that everyone knows, and then we'll be doing a great randomizer one. But next week, in 2 weeks, we will be doing, drum roll please, disturbing PSAs.
Ooh.
Very nice.
We'll be picking some disturbing and creepy and weird ass PSAs, and we'll be.
He should not have touched himself, and
Do
now
you
he
get to
is
do the Paul
dead.
Rubens cocaine one?
Oh, I'm talking really disturbing ones. Like, that one's just disturbing because it's Pee-wee talking about crack. This is crack.
Oh.
He touched some farm equipment while it was still on.
Is your brain on drugs?
No, worse than that. Oh,
Now
you'll see.
he has no pecker.
But yes, that's what we'll be doing next time, so please join in. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
So long. See ya.
Remember, if you're white, you can get away with anything. And black flies matter.
Hashtag.
Oh, sorry. Hashtag black flies matter.
Wow.
That was really good, dude.
God.
That was really good.
So